Or Shalom. First and foremost, want to say call Allah Yahweh Basham Yashai, call Allah Yahweh Basham Yashai, call Allah Yahweh Basham Yashai Basham Rakak Wadash. This is Rayabia Bungad, the Zealous Israel Ministry. Now, the brother Strive for the Victory 144. Now I do want to touch on this real quick. This this comment that he made. I think this is from Friends of Yahushai. All right. Now, let me say this. So let me go ahead and read this real quick because I want to leave no stone unturned, and I want to make sure that everything is always, the response is always there, so that brothers and sisters can know where you stand on. Strive for the Victory 144 says, "Yo, Ak, respectfully, have you watched any of our videos to see what we are saying for yourself instead of a secondhand report? We never said the Gentiles that believe will get Israel portion, but salvation is through Yahweh Shai, and those who believe him will be saved. You said yourself that there are Gentiles that believe, right? Is that telling the truth, or do we omit that and focus only on Israel?" So yeah, I'm gonna respectfully respond to this comment to the brother, so that we all can have a clear understanding on both sides, right? Now, the first thing about the first paragraph that you made, have I watched any of your videos? I have watched your videos in times past. Recently, I haven't watched too many people's videos just because I haven't really been focusing on watching a lot of different camp videos or teaching videos because I don't have really much time. I only have really time to really study and do other things as well outside of YouTube, or even on YouTube dealing with other things. So not recently, but I have watched videos in times past. And yes, I have had second hand reports, but also too, I've seen some of your videos. Now, segueing into the second part, it says, "We never said the Gentiles that believe will get Israel's portion, but salvation is through Yahweh Shai, and those who believe in him will be saved." Now, to be fair, if you haven't said that, if that's not where you're coming from, then, all praises, you know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, then I won't sit up here and I'll recant that statement. All right. Now, I will say this. I will can't recant that statement. I will say Salakia, because that's just who I am. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But all in all, what I said in the video overall, people are doing that and claiming the new covenant. In the third part, you said yourself that there are Gentiles that believe, right? Is that telling the truth, or do we omit that and focus only on Israel? And this is also answering the second part of the second question, the second part of the second paragraph you had, and into the third. Now, there are Gentiles that believe. I mean, the scriptures speaks vividly of that, for sure. All right. Now, what I want you to understand is that when it comes to because one of the videos I have seen you guys do, and if you have to correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys have said that they went to the Gentiles, right? And when you deal with the apostles and prophets, they did not, or the apostles in the ministry of Yahweh Shai, as well as the ministry of what's his name, Paul, the Gentiles they were going to were not Israelite. I mean, were not Gentiles. They were the 12 tribes, and that's what I'm more, if anything else, is referencing that. Now, to the point of the question, do we focus on the Gentiles and not do we omit that and focus only on Israel? Well, Yahweh Shai said in the accounts of Matthew and Luke that he came to save his people. He came for his people. He even told the Gentile that he had mercy on to heal the daughter, right? That, let me charge my phone up real quick before I continue on. So Yeah, so to answer that, right, I have to deal with what Yahweh Shai did and what the apostles did. And the disciples, they were speaking directly to Israel, right? Now, it's nothing wrong with teaching Gentiles, and I've stated that explicitly. There's nothing wrong with teaching Gentiles having questions and answering their questions. But and if they want to cleave, because I will say this, let me say this, right? I will be doing a lesson on the Gentile salvation, because it does speak of that in the book of Revelation, the 22nd chapter. And there's supplemental scriptures to coincide with that. Okay. I will be touching on that. I do have scriptures on that because I did read through Revelation 22nd chapter and really had an epiphany on that particular verse about about the nations being saved. But it's not the salvation that we're going to have, right? Because we're the ones that need saving. But the ones that cleave are definitely going to be the ones that are probably going to be amongst the elect, in the kingdom, serving the 12 tribes during that 1,000-year period, or however long that is. Okay, that is a lesson that I do have stored up. I'm going to touch on very soon. So yeah, definitely there are going to be Gentiles with that that's going to have salvation from full on destruction and judgment, but it's not going to be the same. They're not going to have the same salvation, or they're not going to be grafted into the covenant along with us. And I want that to be made very clear, because that can be a stumbling block to people, because people could hear that and they could think a certain particular way. Now, I'll say this, if you're teaching it from that standpoint, all praise is cool. Then I apologize for stating that about y'all, because that's how it came off looking at that video in videos in time past. But I want to be very thorough when I say that, because when you go into the history, when you go into the scriptures prior to the 1800s, it was actually around the 1800s when they started to do this. They started to do the age of discovery, right? During those particular movements in that time where they were digging up archaeology, when you go look into a lot of different things, man, most of the sources would say that they were going to the 12 tribes. And I got a lesson dealing with the Gentiles and the heathens, dealing with the Israelite foreigners, because you have the actual Gentiles, and you have the Israelites that were into heathenistic customs that became Gentiles because they were cast out of Israel and whatnot. So those are things those are certain lessons that I have stored up. Okay. So those are things that I'm going to touch on, and I'm going to deal with in extensive lessons in the course breakdowns and scriptures, all that in the third and whatnot. All right. So that's what I want you to have understand. So, and the reason why I'm doing it in video form is because I just don't feel like typing right now. It's just best to just do the quick video and respond, so that you can because obviously things can be lost in translation when you type. And so you can understand where I'm coming from and what I'm saying. And once again, I mean, if you didn't come from that standpoint, then I apologize. But one thing I will stand on is that there are people within the new covenant overall that are teaching certain things that don't need to be taught, and they're using that as a ploy to bring in certain Christianity style of doctrines. All right, and other various doctrines that are just not other scriptures as well, because we have to focus on the new covenant and teaching that, because that gives life. But we also have to be on point with the other scriptures as well, and especially prophecy, So, yeah, that's all I wanted to straighten out and make sure that the brothers Strive for the Victory 144 and the brothers from Friends of Yahweh Shai have, man, so that they understand. So with that being said, this is Raya Abba God, Zealous Israel Ministry. Shalom, and y'all have a blessed night, blessed Sabbath. Shalom.